y'all. Okay, I just wanted to catch y'all up really quick on the Civil War exhibit that I'm working on. I know that I look really, really rough right now, but I've been working with kids all day, so I think I look pretty cute. But that's just me. Alright, here's the exhibit. Okay, this is A Waterman's Life, the York River during the Civil War. This guy's clothes are coming soon, but yeah, this is the title of the exhibit. And the little boat that's peekabooing out. Yeah, gonna explain that in a few minutes. The Civil War comes to Virginia, Union or Confederate, which side would you choose? And there's gonna be a picture in between these two. The copy right now is just temporary. It's just to give us an idea of what's going where. We're gonna put it on prettier paper and we're gonna mat it and everything, so I promise it's gonna look better than this. And thank you, Abby, for picking out the font because it looks really pretty. Here is a Civil War timeline starting in 1861. It starts with, I don't think that's going to focus, but it starts with Abraham Lincoln's election, getting elected as president. So, and it goes through the events in 1861. Then we're going to come over here. This is when basically the Union soldiers took over Yorktown. So, yeah, they took over Yorktown in 1861, and they held it for the whole war. So, we're just kind of going over that for a little while, like on this, well, it's a door. So, yeah, this door is going to be talking about that. Civil War timeline for 1862. This section is going to be talking about the Confederate Coast Guard and their role in the Civil War. The whole exhibit is focusing on Captain Hudgens, who was a rebel and like during the Civil War, and he was kind of known for like his temper and his hatred for the Yankees. So yeah, and we're gonna have his family history and family tree and picture and everything. And we asked the question, what would you do if your state was invaded? We have a copy, like an original, like his original letter to his sister that that he wrote during the war, right after the burning of Richmond. So that's really cool. And we're gonna have like the pictures of the letter because the letter's really old and brittle. So we're gonna have pictures of the letter around it. But this is what it says. This is a yawl boat. Yep. And what the Confederates would do during the war is they would put their boats in wagons and jump from creek to creek and to river, just because it was faster than actually traveling on the water to get away from the Yankee soldiers. Then this little section is talking about just like different items that they couldn't get during the war, just because, you know, during the war. And this is also talking about the blockade of the Chesapeake Bay. This is the first like original Confederate flag that we just made like a couple hours ago. This table is going to have different items on it, and it's just asking, you know, how could you improvise with stuff, like everyday stuff that you just don't have anymore. I don't think the tape's going to be on there. This section is talking about the Confederate Coast Guard again, but it's focusing on a specific section called the Arabs. And these are original records from the Civil War. So this is like really cool. And it just talks about how the Arabs, like how they played their role in the war. Then we have little Miss Hudgens here, who still needs a dress. The story with her is that when her family home was raided, they hid the family silver up under her petticoat and sat her on the steps of a chicken coop. So nobody found it. Also, when they raided the house, they were planning on burning the house down, but the Yankee soldier who was doing it saw a Masonic symbol on the mantelpiece. And so he didn't burn the house down because he was a fellow Mason. So that's really cool. The Masonic symbol hasn't come in yet. It was supposed to last night, but so hopefully we're going to get it next week. It's American flag, so it's like dividing the room, like, you know, northern, south, you know, same thing. Okay, this is the winter quarters, and the Federal Army took over Yorktown in 1861 and held it through the entire war. So the soldiers that were living in Yorktown, they got cold and they wanted to build, you know, slightly more permanent homes than just a tent. So they would dig into the ground and find whatever wood they could, whether it was from an old fence or from an old barn or whatever. And they would just build a house, but they would dig into the dirt to build the house so that it was slightly warmer. And we've got like a cot and just different items and stuff. And then we have a fireplace, and they use barrels for chimneys, and which would catch on fire a lot. So it wasn't the safest place to live, but I mean, it's worse. So you have to do what you have to do. And then this is going to be like when they found the site, the archaeological site, they also found a gin bottle and an oyster shell. So we're going to kind of replicate that right here at the fireplace. So that's going to be really cool, but we're still working on that. And then this little section is just talking about war on the home front, like what they had to do to improvise with things that that they didn't have anymore because it was war. And this is one of the dresses that was donated for the exhibit. Super pretty, right? Actually, I think that was a wedding dress. I want to say that somebody told me that it was a wedding dress. So, yeah. This section is going to talk about the different foods that the soldiers ate during the war. Just, you know, oysters or scallops or just pretty much whatever they could find. And then this last section is going to talk about camp life. And there's a picture right here. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. And it's going to show like the games that they played and stuff during the, like while they were at camp. I'm sorry, I'm just scatterbrained right now. And then we're going to have a timeline for 1863 and 1864, and that's the end of the exhibit. But it keeps going, and over here we are going to have model shipbuilders, over here, and they're going to come in and they're just going to build just different ships. So that's going to be really cool to watch. Over here we're going to have a, like a really tiny gift shop. That's going to be cool. And then over here we're going to have an art studio, like an art section kind of thing, so that like kids can come in here and draw pictures of what they see. And we're going to have like different classes and stuff come in. So we have 2 art majors working for us. So that's going to be great. And this is the restaurant that no longer sells tuna sandwiches because apparently the price of tuna went up. How sad is that? So, yeah. Alrighty, well, I just wanted to catch all up on everything, so I hope you think it's cool. So I'll talk to y'all later.